What if NASA's most advanced telescope had captured something not only mysterious but alive on another planet? Not a UFO or a hazy silhouette, but a glowing, rhythmic display of movement and light. This strange visual signature reportedly originated from Proxima b, an exoplanet located just 4.2 light-years away. According to reports, a rogue scientist leaked the footage at 3:42 a.m., only to vanish without a trace. The material was far too vivid to ignore and too complex to easily explain. Whether it's an elaborate deception or a truth we've long avoided, this was not a scene out of science fiction. It was a real event that sent shockwaves through the internet and beyond. On the early morning of December 14th, 2023, in a quiet apartment in Silver Spring, Maryland, former NASA scientist Ethan Harper sat alone at his cluttered desk. Stacks of papers surrounded him, and a cold cup of coffee sat untouched on the windowsill. The only source of light in the room came from his laptop screen. Harper hesitated for a moment, then clicked Post, uploading a set of files to social media. That single action would capture the world's attention. Initially, the post resembled yet another blurry space rumor. But those who opened the folder found something astonishing. High-resolution images of Proxima b that looked nothing like anything made public before. Unlike the grainy telescope shots people were used to, these were strikingly detailed, too sharp to have come from any known instrument. Harper claimed the visuals came from the James Webb Space Telescope, but not from its officially documented sensors. According to him, they were captured using classified tools that the public had never heard of. The caption read simply, "You're not supposed to see this." What stood out even more than the images was a single video file with a plain thumbnail and one word, "Watch." Harper claimed it would fundamentally change how humanity understood the cosmos. As curiosity overtook skepticism, people watched, and what they saw raised more questions than answers. The planet didn't just appear to host life, it looked alive. Its surface seemed to move, pulse, and flicker with an eerie synchronicity. By sunrise, the video had gone viral. Scientists, journalists, conspiracy theorists, and everyday observers all asked the same question: was it real? If Harper's footage was authentic, it wasn't just a leak. It was the most significant discovery in modern astronomy. And even if it was fake, its realism made it nearly impossible to dismiss. As one viewer remarked, "If this is fake, someone give that guy an Oscar." However, Harper's leak wasn't an isolated event. It seemed to connect with a far older narrative, one involving psychic experiments, government secrecy, and shadowy Cold War programs. During the 1970s and 80s, the CIA conducted experiments under a program known as Project Stargate. The goal wasn't satellites or lasers, but remote viewing, training individuals to perceive distant or hidden locations using only their minds. Millions of dollars were poured into this unconventional research, and the results were often uncannily accurate. Remote viewing involved participants, some soldiers, others civilians, describing sites they had never physically seen. These included Russian military bases, nuclear silos, and submarines. One documented case included a description of a dome structure that matched satellite imagery within 100 meters. Intrigued by these results, the U.S. intelligence community eventually expanded the program's scope beyond Earth. In the 1980s, remote viewers were tasked with observing Mars, not as it exists now, but as it may have looked 1,000,000 years ago. One participant described tall structures, stormy skies, and slender beings moving through ruins. The session felt like watching ancient memories. While controversial, the program left behind one clear fact: the U.S. government seriously explored psychic observation, and at times it appeared to work. In 2016, this approach was applied again, this time to Proxima b, a group of modern remote. Viewers focused their attention on this distant exoplanet. What they reported was stranger than anyone could have expected. On August 27, 2016, in Vienna, Austria, a physician and trained therapist named Helmut T. sat in a quiet room. He wore headphones broadcasting a steady drumbeat at 210 beats per minute to help him enter a focus state. The assigned target was simply labeled A27161. Unbeknownst to him, this was a location on Proxima b. Helmut described a sky bathed in purple light and a thick, non-water liquid falling from above. The ground appeared to move slightly as though it were alive, and it absorbed the strange rain while shimmering faintly. The air felt sterile and heavy, as if the planet itself did not welcome him. That same day, another remote viewer named Jerry Kay conducted his own session. He described a single vast organism stretched across kilometers, pulsating like a giant heartbeat. It wasn't aggressive. On the contrary, it seemed to acknowledge his presence. The structure even included what looked like a flower or radar dish, possibly part of its reproductive system. These accounts weren't part of a hoax or isolated visions. They were published in a book years before Harper's video surfaced. And yet the descriptions matched. The glowing terrain, coordinated light pulses, and biological intelligence bore uncanny resemblance to what Harper's footage later revealed. One session note put it simply, "It's not a planet with life, it is life." The James Webb Space Telescope, JWST, launched in 2021, was designed to peer into the early universe and analyze exoplanet atmospheres. Officially, its tools focus on spectral analysis, breaking down light to identify gases like oxygen or carbon dioxide. It cannot, at least publicly, provide high-resolution visuals of distant planetary surfaces. Yet Harper insisted that JWST had been outfitted with secret technology developed through undisclosed government projects. This black-budget equipment, he claimed, allowed it to capture images far beyond the known capabilities of any telescope. Such a claim challenges the limits of current scientific understanding. Capturing real-time footage of a planet 4.2 light-years away defies all publicly known technologies. But the leaked visuals appeared too sophisticated to be dismissed as simple computer graphics. As one viewer noted, if it was CGI, then someone had achieved a level of artistry beyond even Hollywood. The most disturbing aspect wasn't just the realism, it was the behavior of the lights on Proxima b. They didn't flash randomly. They moved in patterns like signals. Some followed linear paths like roads, others blinked like beacons. More eerily, the lights synchronized across vast areas of the surface. Nature doesn't behave like that without a purpose. The patterns led to two possibilities. Either they were artificial, signs of a civilization, or they were biological. Some scientists proposed that these patterns resembled bioluminescent life. Think of Earth's deep-sea creatures, jellyfish that glow, corals that pulse. Perhaps Proxima b hosted similar life forms, only on a planetary scale. Others suggested a hybrid possibility, that the lights were alive, but part of a larger biological infrastructure like fungal networks connecting forests or coral reefs acting as ecosystems. If true, Proxima b might operate like a single living neural network. Then there's the atmosphere. One of the files Harper leaked contained a spectral analysis labeled B. It showed a breakdown of gases in the planet's air, oxygen, hydrogen, and neon. Each of these elements, while common, takes on new meaning in combination. Oxygen is considered a strong candidate for indicating life, especially if it's present in large quantities. On Earth, it comes primarily from photosynthetic organisms. While oxygen can form through chemical means, its presence on a distant planet still warrants serious attention. Hydrogen, meanwhile, is essential to chemical reactions and can trap heat. Its presence suggests volcanic or geothermal activity, a planet with internal energy that could support ecosystems. Neon is rarer and generally inert, but its existence might signal extreme volcanic or radioactive processes. Combined, these gases suggest an active, dynamic atmosphere, possibly even one involved in sustaining strange biological processes. Some parts of the surface appeared to glow from within, as though lit by something more than starlight. The terrain rippled, shimmered, and pulsed. As one viewer put it, it's like watching a firefly from orbit, except the firefly is the size of Texas. So if there's life on Proxima b, it may not exist in small colonies or forests. It may be the entire planet. This leads to the most radical theory yet, the entity hypothesis. In this view, Proxima b isn't just home to life, it is life. Remote viewers from 2016 described a single, conscious being spanning the surface, a slow-moving intelligence aware of their presence. Jerry Kay likened it to standing on the back of a sleeping whale the size of a nation. He said it wasn't mechanical. It was living, and it pulsed with thought. Some scientists have long proposed that extraterrestrial life might not resemble animals or humanoids. Instead, it might manifest as ecosystems, networks, or entire biospheres with self-awareness. An alien mind might not be located in a body, but distributed across terrain. One astrobiologist said it best: if evolution had 2 billion more years to work, you might not get people. You might get sentient environments. The glowing rain, the rhythmic lights, the terrain that seems to breathe. These may all be aspects of an organism's behavior, not its background. Perhaps the rain is part of digestion, the lights a form of communication, and the flower-like structures reproductive organs.